Hello everybody, welcome back to AI War Fleet Command, Zenith Remnant game 7.3 normal difficulty. We're pressing our way towards finding the AI homeworlds, not there yet, and we've got some fun stuff to get into today. First of all, we started doing some rebuilding on the botnet golem. As you can see, it's partway there, but we've still got a ways to go. Shut that off for now because metal still has some work to do. Starting off here in Dysnomia, because there's one thing I forgot to mention, although anybody who's sharp-eyed might have noticed it. The human colony that rebelled, we can build ships from there. Specifically, we can build almost 60 of their fighter bombers and their frigates. 1,000 energy each, so altogether that's going to be 115,000 energy or so that we need. We're already low on energy, which points up our next goal. Now we do have, even though the botnet golem is not with us, we do have the Black Widow golem, and we headed off to Themis after working my way around. And the best way to get in there eventually was Geonosis to Eagle, Sol, Bennonia. Our transports are almost dead, but they made it. So we got 5 golems, and I'm taking mostly just our heavy forces, Mark V ships and starships. The rest are staying at home. And goodness knows we got a bunch of them. And the reason I did it that way, here we are in Themis. We pop in right next to a fortress, how lovely. But I feel that our turrets, or rather golems, can handle this situation like they did before. I'm going to be a little bit more cautious because this is a Mark IV planet, and it also does have a counterpost. So we're going to take down our first one of those, and it's going to dump a wave on our heads. And that's a big reason why the fleet's back in Laetitia, because I don't want there to be some surprise in there. Transports seem very close to being dead. I'm going to try to get these ships to the outskirts of the system, but if the transports go down, I may have to just do that manually. So let's see how this works out for us. Oh, there we go. Okay, let's pause here for a moment. And let's get those ships also out here. We're just going to sort of run away. And the usual thing with keeping everything else as a screening force and having the golems do the heavy lifting. And yeah, there's an ion cannon doing its thing, but I'm not too worried about that. We have high enough marked ships that we should be able to handle it. And okay, most of the ships are gone. So let's see. Yeah, this is our transport that has the colony ship in it. So that one survived. Oh, threat on Europa. But the one that didn't survive had our combat ships in it. Okay, so I want to take the artillery golem, do the usual thing, and pop everything. Now, this is, of course, is the Zenith Power Generator that we definitely do not want to kill. We're going to capture it. Let's get the guard post there. And why not just take that one out? I mean, it's not going to be better to do it later. And you can't damage the command station if you don't take that out first. Okay, and then now, let's kill the barracks. There we go. Devour Golem at Venus. Not particularly concerned about that. Look at that Mark III Spire Starship. That should be fun. It was fun. Good targeting decision by the artillery golem for sure. You know what? Why don't we knock out that data center? Obviously, we don't need that gun to do it. That'll drop us back down below 300 AI progress. We do have a mark or a level 1 reprisal. That's no problem. Let's get that Lightning Guardian out of there. And I think we're going to take this down now. Okay, Malcab 11. I think everything's okay there. Just double check. Yeah, we got no ships hanging around. So I think it's time for us to set up shop in here. And this is Portia, where a nice big wave descended on us. I think it was about 300 or so. Or no, about 600 or so. And what we actually have is two waves. This is one's a reprisal, I think, and the other one is coming from the other system. I think we're going to be fine here, and assuming that we are going to have a nice big mess of metal. Over 600,000 and rising significantly. You can see Mark III ships on both sides among the, how shall we put it, contributors to this barrel of fun. Pushing 1 million scrap. And they're doing some damage in here, but as usual, they're not getting very far. It's like there's their leech or plasma siege or whatever, and none of their ships are getting in here. And matter of fact, a lot of them aren't even trying. And now we're going to have some resistance fighters help us clean it up. We've got friends coming to Calliope as well. Let's take a look at that. And we appear to be fine here. Okay, so I'm going to pop back into Themis. I did unlock the Mark II force field generators. We're getting a little bit low on that kind of thing. And now, of course, with our Zenith Power Generator along with our standard energy collector, we're up to almost 1 million free energy. So we've got enough to build other things. I've got the human colony ships, or the human rebellion, colony, building their ships. I've got the electric bombers and the munitions boosters that I'd held off on building for energy reasons. So we're once again expanding the fleet to maximum, and as soon as we get turrets up in here, be ready to hit the next target. So it turns out the counterpost wave was still coming, and it was bigger than I thought. 1,000 ships headed for Letitia, and infiltrators and space planes. But some of them got themselves spotted out this way, and bad things happened to them. There's still a lot of them, most of them cloaked, which was a concern. So I wanted to double check on a couple things. And here's our tachyon beam emitter here. But I decided, you know what, I'm going to build some of our new stealth ones. And I may not leave them up, but I'm just going to build them around our main clusters here. Let's get a couple of those up. And now there should be no way that they can escape or come in without getting pounded for quite a while. So that seemed pretty safe. Now, on the other end of things, the Black Widow Golem just finished getting repaired. They like to hit those pretty hard. So, for whatever reason, that one's being targeted the most. But I don't see any reason not to just keep moving right along. Letitia did fine against the attack, as I might have expected. Going to leave those stealth tachyon emitters up. And the next stop was Metis. So the passage through Frozenzin and Daphne, they got a little bit irritated. They sent a bunch of ships in there. We destroyed some of them. Some of them we did a stupid amount of riot control were flying through there. And our threat is up some. But we got through it all with Golem power and into Metis. And why are we in here? Well, we're in here because of the second regeneration Golem, but that's not the main purpose. We've got the Speed Booster Fabricator, we've got the Heavy Bomber Starship Mark V Fabricator in here, we've got a good supply of metal, we've got the ability to reach Minerva. So all of that coming into play as we hop into Midas. And it's pretty much the same situation as before. As you can see, all of our golems at 90% or above, but the transports are kind of hurting. So I'm going to see once again if we can escape to the perimeter before those go goodbye. And it looks like we lost one of them, potentially. No, we did not. Looks like we're still alright. So, just gotta wait for all of our ships to knock out the resistance. And let's see, you are the one I want. You unload. Right there. And everybody else hang out here. And some ships making their way in from Daphne. I hope they send a whole bunch of them. And I don't see any purpose for the wasps. We've got an ion cannon, Mark III. Not concerned about that. Everybody's still alive. Nobody below 85%. So let's see. Why don't you hit there? Yep, okay, here comes some ships from Daphne anyway. There we go. And let's hit that missile guard post next. And then we'll take out the command station. And of course, the nice thing about this system is we can cover the regen golem here, and the ion cannon will be close by to help us out. I think those are going to be temporary shields, though, as the fabricators up here really are going to be the key thing to hang on to and make sure nobody touches those. Alright, so I've got some good news, bad news now. We did some more scouting after getting set up in Midas. Everything's all set. And we found some interesting things in the Arshandra system. There's another Broken Hive Golem. I don't know if I'm going to take that. We did scout everything off the Minerva location, and I don't like the fact that it doesn't have any metal. I think at this point, I just want to take it, get the factory, get my Mark IV stuff, including the Scout, of course, and finish exploring the rest of the galaxy, find out where everything is. I just don't want to wait any longer to do that. I'm just going to take it and bite the bullet, and if there's a better factory off somewhere else, well, so be it. I mean, we're not going to be able to explore like over here without it, or without taking some more systems, or do a whole bunch of tachyon raiding, or whatever. So over in this area, we've got Willy, where the advanced starship constructor is. May want to take that, and if I did, it'd let me push out that way possibly. We've got a wormhole off this. We've got a bunch of them off Palma, which is a main hub. Probably get there through Malkav 11 and that long Venus to Palma jump. And that's pretty much it. These systems, and then one off Strix Nebulosa and the big hub at Janus. But the main thing that happened is, just a bit ago, a new cross-planet attack hit. And this one was bigger. This was like 1,600, 1,700 ships. They freed about 500 from the strategic reserve, but they got a lot more from other places, giving them that much. And you can see we don't know where most of them are. So I need to go back at this point. I think I need to take an operational pause from attacking. I want to go back to working on having scouts at all the adjacent systems and raiding any entry tachyon sentinels and any train stations that might be out there, so that we don't get surprised by anybody in the CPA. Didn't take as long as last time to clear out that third CPA because I had done some of the work before in terms of scouting and whatnot, but it took some. You can see we've seen the mining golems come back. They're at Melpomene, And for Zenzen and Prochny, 3 systems I don't really care about. There's a backup thing there that I may want, but probably don't. And in any case, our energy's down more because we've finished up our golems. We now have a regen golem on both ends. So I've got one that's going to just hang out here in Laetitia, and we've built the second one in Metis. I'm also using the hive golem, which seems to be better suited to defense, at least the way I'm doing the attacking right now. Have that staying in Geonosis. And we finished up the botnet golem in Dysnomia. And most of their threat recently has been gathering at Binor and Fat Samurai. They had one attack that took the botnet golem down some, but we did finally finish it. And in looking at this thing, I've taken down the force fields. It's interesting. It actually acts as a scout, and I experimented with sending it out on auto scout. That's a real bad idea. It'll trigger a bunch of eyes, eventually get killed, etc. It's not particularly invincible. 2.5 million health is good, 60 armor is good, but it's not invincible. But what it does do is it basically just turns a whole bunch of ships against the enemy. And we'll get to putting that in action, but it's on the other side of the galaxy and it just finished. So obviously massive armor piercing, it's immune to a whole bunch of things, including nuclear explosions, which is interesting. And the reclaimed ships come back as zombie bots, and they'll just attack until they die. So it's kind of like a combination of the hive golem and like the cursed golem, only better than that. It's pretty badass. So we're going to just retreat it over here, and if anything comes in here and causes trouble, well, we will solve the trouble with that. And then we're going to activate this again, because we've got some metal, and let's use it. But in the meantime, I'm hitting Minerva to get that Mark IV factory. Advanced factory, get Mark IV fleet ships, all that fun stuff. And I've brought the usual suspects minus the hive golems, so there's 4 golems instead of 5. I don't expect to have a problem in here. However, they do have a Mark IV anti-starship arachnid guard post. That would be not fun to run into, but its range is 17,000. We're outside of that. I'm just going to stay outside of that. And I'm just going to hightail it over here. We'll want to take out that missile guard post pretty quick. In fact, I'm just going to give that order now. There it is. And I just want to get over here, clear out this system per usual. Oh, but we lost. No, we didn't lose anything. Why are you... They got a bunch of teleport raiders. Why are you going that way? Why are you not going the way that I told you to? Okay. So I put them on X, attack, instead of just telling them to go over there. That was my mistake. Yeah, just go over there, fire it, whatever. Yep, and our Chandra does not like what we're doing. He's sending in a bunch of ships. Not a bunch. A handful. That's a handful. That would not be a bunch past the 2-hour point in the game. Well, okay, there's some more... There's some more riot control. Okay. He's making a respectable showing. Not nearly good enough under the circumstances. Okay, what else do we have we need to blow up here? I don't think there's anything. Oh, I think we're good. Yep, we've hit it all. So now I'm just going to send the group down here so they're ready to defend the advanced factory. And once we clear out this... Okay. Okay. You want to play that game? We'll play that game. It is time to get our screening group in place. Ah, no, move away. Doggone it. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but I let him take out the colony ship. I should not have unloaded all the transports. What the heck? Oh, yeah. The regen golem's reanimating it. That's pretty cool. I didn't know it would reanimate that. But look at all this. They're not pleased. They're decidedly displeased, and I decidedly could not care less. Okay, I'm going to bring the golems back up here, because a lot of these ships have been immobilized. And Black Widow, let's move you into the firing line a bit. Okay, so despite semi-botching that, everything is in order. And let's take control, shall we? Do the honors, Mr. Artillery Golem. Our scouting is finally almost complete. Everything's up and running in Minerva. Put a couple heavy beam cannons in there to help out. We have built all of the ships that we can build, including unlocking some new stuff. I unlocked Mark III bombers, which of course got me Mark IV bombers with the advanced factory. Also went up to Mark II on the Sentinel frigates and the electric bombers. I like those ships. I'm going to want to use those. And we've explored almost the whole galaxy, and we know where the homeworlds are. There's a couple wormholes over here to deal with. We've got Adiona down here, and the one and only T up here. And I think I'm going to hit this one first. Reason being, last time we had the issue with extra strategic reserve because we went into this kind of a situation. Core world of one AI and then homeworld of the other. Over here, I can avoid that by going through Despina. So I want to do that. I don't know for sure. I'm definitely going to have to take at least one more system, maybe two to get there. You know, and I'm not in a huge hurry to do it. There's some other things that we have discovered. One is in Quayar, where there is the second factory and a Dyson sphere. Well, I definitely wouldn't have wanted to take that planet, because bad things happen. You take the planet the Dyson sphere is on, it'll relentlessly attack you. But there is a data center in there, so I'll probably want to go in and hit that. I think liberating the planet would be worth doing just to see what the Dyson sphere does. It says it'll help you on nearby planets. And I don't really plan on taking the nearby planets, so I'm going to think about that. But yeah, I mean, there's other train stations, other fun things around. There's another power generator here in Dembowska. This is the other advanced starship constructor here in Uranus, but I'm not going to want that one, so that means I'm probably going to want to take this. And that'll get me that other advanced starship constructor. And then this would be 1, 2, 3, 4 jumps away. I might be able to make that work and see how it goes. We'll see how our golems fare against the enemy homeworlds. This one has a threatening eye. That one has a plasma eye. Both of them have orbital mass drivers. Other than that, there's not really anything we haven't seen. They're Mark III fortresses. They've got ion cannons, I think both of them. Yeah, they've both got Mark II ion cannons, which are not too terribly threatening. Could very well easily be a higher mark. Obviously, if I tick off that threatening eye, the size of the wave that would trigger is not something I'm interested in figuring out. But we're definitely ready to plot our course for the endgame. And I'm going to look into that next time. So thanks for watching, everybody. More AI War coming up soon. We're nearing the finish line. But with AI progress approaching 400, it's starting to get pretty intense.